videotapes. We've made over 1 million videos now in 6 languages. They're not copyrighted. They're not copyrighted.
Desk. I need a third desk, actually. Okay, Kent Hovind rules. He says, Kent, do you know if President Bush is a creationist? Meaning, he does not believe God used evolution. I don't know.
I think he is. There was actually a TV forum on TV for a while back, and there was a well-known secular comedian named Janine Garofalo, and they were talking about President Bush. She said she didn't want to vote for this guy because he still believes in creationism. You know, he still believes that God created the earth and did it, 6,000 years ago.
There was a Canadian guy running for Prime Minister, whatever they call him in Canada, who came out and said he believed, the world's 6,000 years old and God made it and created it, and took a real good stand. And boy, the media blasted him. He lost the election.
There's some incredibly brilliant people. The guy who invented the MRI, the magnetic resonance imaging, he's a younger creationist.
Right.
Brilliant guy. Show me any evolutionist who's done as much good for humanity today as that guy.
Well, you might find some evolutionists who have done a lot of good for humanity, but not their theory of evolution had nothing to do with their invention.
The theory of evolution. What has evolution done for anybody?
Right. Evolution, even if it's true, is a useless theory. Absolutely useless. It does no good. That's not why we put people on the moon. It's not why we have computers. It's a useless theory. Yeah. Okay.
Stupid.
Okay. So I would assume yes, Bush is a creationist. I would believe that he is. Now, I would though caution you to pointing out George Bush is president of what? Exactly what is he president of? He's president of the corporate United States. There is no president of the United States and has not been for probably 70 years. There's not even an election where you can vote for the president of the United States. I mean, the real United States. So the whole thing is one of the biggest scams, frauds in the history of the world. It's a giant show, okay? And there is no president of the United States. So he may be a creationist. That's wonderful, but he's not. He's president of the corporation.
Yeah. Again, I'm going by the secular foul-mouthed comedian Janine Garofalo's word on that.
Sometimes your critics and enemies are good sources. You get a lot of good stuff. Find the truth out. Okay. So second part of the question. Also, with the election coming up and the new Michael Moore movie, 9/11, did you think it was misleading? Well, I saw the movie. I don't go to movies much, but I saw that one for a radio program I did in St. Louis. And I think everybody ought to go see it. Did you see it?
I have not seen it, no.
Just get another perspective, It's not Bush bashing so much as it is just, hey, folks, what really happened on September 11th? We knew they were going to come, Why did they scramble jets from the wrong Air Force base when there's one so much closer? They purposely wanted to take too long, I
saw a DVD a couple days ago called 9/11: The Road to Tragedy, or The Road of Tragedy, something like that.
Yeah. Road to Tyranny?
Yeah, but oh my goodness, I sat down and just watched an hour of it.
Alex Jones is sitting here on the table somewhere if I can find it. Yeah, there are a lot of people who are extremely upset, rightfully so, about the deception going on. There are people in high places, probably Bush included, who wanted something terrible to happen so that they could have an excuse for more, New World Order, Big Brother.
Yep.
They were looking forward to some kind of catastrophe and maybe even knew about that one specifically and said, look,
there's a lot of, complaints about people who say, well, we knew about 9/11, we didn't do anything about it. A lot of people complain about that. It would actually benefit them if they don't agree with what that person is saying. Check out the material anyway. How can you just say, oh, I don't believe him, just because you don't believe him? You haven't even checked out what they're saying.
Yeah, listen to all sides. Some evolutionists won't even listen to the creationist side.
I know you had that debate with Dr. Trivers. Whenever you would speak, he'd walk out of the auditorium.
Yeah.
What kind of logic and reasoning is that? Who is actually looking for the truth here? You sat there and listened to his perspective. He walked out when you gave yours.
Yeah.
Where's the search for truth?
They paid him $1,000 and he still walked out. Dr. Trivers, let's do it again sometime. Anytime. Okay. Up at Rutgers University. Okay, here, so do I think the movie was misleading? I don't know that it's possible to know all of what's really going on in high places. I mean, that's the nature of any conspiracy. Things are kept hidden. It sometimes takes hundreds of years for the truth to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Custer's Last Stand. They're still finding out things, that they didn't know. So it just takes a long time. With Pearl Harbor, I think our people knew full well it was coming, and they always have a cover story, of course. Oh, well, we got a lot of false alarms, so we decided not to activate this time. They knew full well Pearl Harbor was going to be bombed, and they shut the radar off an hour before they, got there.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted that to bring us into the war. So I think people wanted very much something like 9/11. Whether those specific buildings or not, I don't know. I think there's a lot of shady stuff, like the buildings I understand were sold or something, or insurance policies were taken out, just a few weeks before that.
Mm-hmm.
Buildings that hold 50,000 people only had, 3,000 killed. A lot of folks were told not to come to work. I mean, somebody knew what was going on. So I don't trust. I love my country. I fear my government and don't trust them at all. Not at all.
Well, it's once it gets so big, kind of the egos of certain people inflate with the size of the government, inflate with, with power comes a lot of authority. With a lot of authority comes, exceeding power. A lot of people abuse that. So,
power corrupts.
Yeah.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. D.D.J. Shelton writes in, well, I'm a follower of Dr. Hovind and his ministry. I've seen all, I believe, of his tapes, seminar series, topical series, debate tapes. In fact, I have them all and met him once in Buffalo. I have three questions, really, that don't really pertain. Number one, where does he get his info on the New World Order? Oh, let's see. Where do I get my info on the New World Order? I guess if the Bible predicts it's going to happen, I guess. That's a good point. If you read the Bible a lot, you develop a mindset to where you view all of everything that comes at you. You view it through a biblical filter.
It becomes a criterion to judge things by.
A filter, yeah. A first filter. So there's going to be a new world order at the end times. There's going to be a one world government. Everybody's going to have to receive a mark to buy or sell. It's coming. I was at Home Depot the other day, waiting in line to check out, or wherever, Walmart, wherever it was. And there's several checkout lines, like always, but now there's these checkout lines where you can walk up and do it yourself,
Yeah, I hate those so much. I guess they're supposed to eliminate the use of a cashier, but every time I go to use one of these self-checkout lines, a cashier runs up, types something on the keypad, and stands there and watches me. And, of course, I have to say, I thought this was supposed to help you guys out.
Well, see, the next obvious step is, hey, hold your forehead up to this scanner or your hand up to this scanner. We want to scan your microchip.
Yep.
It's coming. The Bible said it was coming 2,000 years ago. Atheists and skeptics have scoffed at that for years. Well, wake up.
They're already practicing it. They have tons and tons, probably hundreds of thousands of pets around the world are chipped nowadays.
There's thousands of people that are already chipped. They have a microchip in their hand or their forehead. I don't know about the forehead, but I know they're doing it in the hand.
Mm-hmm.
By God. People say, I believe God used evolution. Well, then you got a different God than I do. It's not the clear teaching of the Bible, and I think it would be a retarded God that had to do that, to use evolution to get us here.